Alright guys, welcome to episode 4 of The Nerd is the Word. I'm Josh.
I'm Jeff.
And we're on episode 4, man. This is... I remember when we were talking about this at work, and it was... I remember I always... We're gonna do this, and we finally got this thing going. And honestly, the channel's doing pretty good, actually. I mean...
I was looking at the stuff. Like, we're up to, like, over 20 subscribers, which is kind of lit. I'm about to say, seeing as how it's only been, like, a month.
Yeah. I mean, if that. We only have 3 episodes on. And then this will be the 4th, but... Our views are doing... They're doing good. Thank you, guys. Keep... share it out to everyone, More people listen to this, the more awesome stuff we can do for you guys.
Yeah, we love having everybody... watch, and any shares would be great. And be sure to interact with like the social media pages. We have a Facebook, we got an Instagram, along with the YouTube. Like, make sure to like and follow the other pages, and because we love having the interaction. So if you guys have any questions you want to ask us, just share it to any of the pages, and we'll be sure to see if we can answer it. If not, just like on the page, we might. If it's a good enough question, we might save it for the next episode and answer it at the end or something.
Oh yeah, and any comments on anything, one of us sees them. So
yeah,
we're gonna see your question. So
absolutely.
What have you been watching, man? What have you been watching in this week?
Well, the obligatory Mando episode.
Oh yes, it was so good, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. What else have I been watching? I'm trying to think. I think it's just keeping up with shows that me and Gianna watch, like The Masked Singer, The Voice, stuff like that. Because we finished everything already that we had really been wanting to see. So all that's really, because we're still waiting on what is it, Christmas Day for Wonder Woman.
Yeah, which I can't wait for that. That's going to be an episode in and of itself.
And I also, speaking of that, I know we were talking about that last week. I heard that they were only putting it up on the HBO Max for 1 month only. So, after that month, it goes back to where you would have to, purchase it.
Well, I know they got rid of the free trial.
Yeah, so there's no free trial, and if you want to watch it, it's only going to be there for a month. So basically, you're going to have to pay for it regardless.
Yeah, I mean, you can still get HBO Max during December. I mean, they're not dumb enough to just cut off purchasing, but it's going to be, you don't get that 7 days of, hey, I get to watch. You get to, you want to watch HBO? Guess you're about to pay HBO money.
I was about to say, you want to watch Wonder Woman? You're going to pay to watch Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I know, right?
You want to watch Justice League? You're going to pay to watch Justice League.
No one's going to pay to watch Justice League. Not this Justice League. Not the Justice League.
No, well, I mean, I'm talking about Zack Snyder, whatever that comes out next year.
Oh, I can't wait for that. It's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. I've seen those pictures that Snyder has been posting, and it's going to be great. I remember, I think you had told me about Kevin Smith saying the plot of Justice League and the Green Lantern and all that. Mm-hmm. Ever since then, this has been what I've sunk my talons into wanting to watch this thing. I mean,
oh yeah, it looks so good.
But no, I finished The Boys.
Good.
Oh, it was so good. It was so good. But I will say one thing about the ending of this season. If they decided that they just wanted to end the show, which they're not going to, obviously, but if they wanted to, wrap it up, they decide, we don't want to do another season and all that, all they had to do was leave out old girl blowing old boy's head up, and they could have ended it. Mm-hmm. It felt like an ending, which is weird because I think it was season 5 of Supernatural. I think so. That felt like an ending too. Because at that point, they've stopped the apocalypse, Sam is in hell because he took the devil. And it's just the way that the last, 5 minutes of the last episode of season 5 of Supernatural felt. The whole, they wrapped everything up. You have Chuck saying the epilogue, the last lines. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what this felt like. You know, you got Huey going out to get a job. You know, got to see his wife and kid. It just kind of felt like everything had wrapped up. And I'm really interested in seeing how they're going to do the next season. Because I can go ahead. I already have a prediction. You're going to have the reunion. I give it, it's probably going to be a year after that, or maybe 6 months or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to get the reunion, Billy's going to show back up, or something like that. And it's going to be, oh, okay, this is the typical, let's get the band back together reunion scene, which I'm still all for. But no, I watched The Boys, obviously watched Mandalorian. That episode was so good. I've been rewatching Avatar again. Other than that, what I did watch, though, was, it's a movie I haven't seen in a couple years. But even though it was a 90s movie, it still works. I watched Seven. You ever see that?
I can't say that I have.
It's got Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt. And, what's his name? Kevin Spacey. And Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt are homicide investigators. And they're investigating these murders that all have to do with a different deadly sin. Oh, it is so good. Me and Serena watched it the other night. Oh, it is. It still works. 90s movie or not, which, let's be honest, the 90s made some of the best movies.
Speaking of 90s movies.
Oh, Lord.
I take that back. We did watch Not Another Teen Movie.
Oh, I love that movie. You sent me that picture.
But not only that, speaking of supernatural, do you know who was in that movie?
Who?
Chuck.
Really?
Yeah.
He was also in a.
He was so you remember the scene where they're showing up to the house party and they're doing the whole Ferris Bueller thing where his parents are leaving and he's like, all right, make sure not to have any parties, and like the kegs coming in, the kegs coming in, and like they're talking about like the sounds. He's like, oh yeah, I gotta go take the Ferrari downtown or something.
Yeah,
that was Chuck.
Huh? I do know he was. I know that Chuck was in. He was in Waiting with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
which that movie is still hilarious. I love every second of that movie.
I just remember seeing him open the door. I was like, I know that guy from somewhere, and I looked it up. Sure enough, he's God. I was like, man,
it's God.
God's having a house party. All right, I'm coming.
But no, other than that, I've been, with our internet messing up as much as it has been this week, I've been going back through my Blu-rays and watching them. Primitive, watching discs. I watched Man of Steel as with the beginning of the Snyderverse for like Batman and all that.
Still hadn't seen it.
That movie is probably, and I'm like you, I'm not a big Superman fan. That is, without a doubt, one of my favorite movies of all time. Because I love Henry Cavill as Superman, and I liked him in that because they didn't make Superman out like he's, truth, justice, in the American way, whatever the hell Superman's theme song was. He wasn't like, always, jerking off how powerful he is.
Mm-hmm.
He was, the beauty of that movie is it's him being human and going through trying to realize who he is. And they have one of the most beautiful parts in that movie is, they go to Alaska or something like that, and they find an old Kryptonian ship.
Mm-hmm.
And he figures out, so he goes down there and he pilots it and he, flies off. And there's a hologram of his dad in it, greets him. He's like, I think it's not, it's like his father's consciousness is in the ship. And he's talking to him and all that, and he's realizing that he's a Kryptonian, he's figuring out who he is and all that. But he puts on the Superman suit, and he walks out, and, you're hearing Russell Crowe talking to him about, you're this, you're the last son of Krypton, and all that. And the most beautiful part is he's sitting out there, because this is the first time you've seen Henry Cavill in the Superman suit.
Mm-hmm.
The whole movie he's been like a t-shirt, like looking like, okay, he's a person. You're seeing him as Superman. And he's asking them, why didn't you guys want me? And they're like, and Russell Crowe's like, we wanted you, our planet was dying. We wanted you to go out. We sent you there because we knew you'd thrive there. And he says, you're going to give the people of Earth an ideal to strive towards. He's like, they'll race behind you, they'll stumble, they'll fall, but in time, they will join you in the sun. That is without a doubt the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. Because if you listen to that, when Man of Steel came out, you didn't know what was going to happen in BVS. You didn't even know BVS was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then Batman vs. Superman happens, and, Superman dies, and you're sitting there like, oh, okay, now the whole Earth misses him. Okay, now this is starting to make sense. And then when Superman comes back, it's like, oh, okay, now I'm getting it's good. If you ever do get a chance to watch it, I do highly recommend it, because it doesn't throw Superman at you like every other Superman movie does. It throws humanity at you, and it's damn good writing. Zack Snyder knows how to write a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it felt like, really it is the Superman version of the Dark Knight trilogy.
Okay.
It's pretty good, and Nolan helped on it, so that kind of.
I must say, I do like me some Dark Knight trilogy.
We watched the first one last night.
Batman Begins?
Yeah, and Serena had seen it, but I didn't realize, because I've watched it, but I didn't pay attention to it in recent views. It's kind of been just, okay, let's watch it. I didn't realize how many Easter eggs to the 70s that movie had. Because Ducard, the name that Ra's went under when he first met Bruce, was the 70s Batman's first teacher. Or he was interacting with Batman in the 70s was Henry Ducard.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, like at the end, the Joker card, did you see the name on the evidence bag?
I've watched that movie so many times, but
the name is Joe Kerr, Officer Joe Kerr. And it's like, oh, okay, so they're okay. Well, obviously they're doing Joker because it's the Joker, but they're doing the aliases and all that. Obviously, Chris Nolan knew what he was doing, because there are so many Easter eggs in that movie. It's just like in Dark Knight Rises, they have the Robin R.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, you're going to have Robin. And then they didn't have Robin. Well, they did, quotes. And it's like, that's not Robin, that's Batman.
I still feel like we would have gotten more than 3 had Heath Ledger not died.
I feel like that too. But, well, you know that they auditioned him to be Batman first, right?
I think he's good as Joker.
He was a good Joker, but when they were doing the casting for Batman, they called him and he was like, no, I don't really want to be a part of a superhero movie. And then Batman Begins made so much money, and he called him and was like, hey, you remember when you offered me a role? Hey, can we talk about that one? I mean, hell, the dude they got to play Scarecrow audition as Batman first.
That's because everybody wants to be Batman.
Everyone wants to be. Well, it's just like Tom Hiddleston auditioned as Thor first.
He's not big enough.
I could never see that man as Thor. Great actor. Amazing actor. Stay with Loki. Stay with Loki.
Absolutely.
But no, The Boys, man. That kind of happened. I mean, everything that happened, I was like, what? That? No.
I'm gonna say, we told you it was so good.
I mean, that thing was Stormfront. I didn't see that coming. I feel like I should have when they basically showed that she was was it Liberty?
Yeah. When
they showed she was Liberty, I was like, oh, okay, so she's gonna be someone bigger.
So you did not see that coming?
I hate you. No, I dug it. I dug that, not the whole Nazi thing, because, obviously that's bad. But I did like, okay, when she comes in at first, you're like, I'm gonna get annoyed with her really quick. Because she's honestly, her character in that reminds me of Captain Marvel. Honestly. And I've said it on here before, and I've said it to you. I don't not like the character of Captain Marvel. I enjoy the character of Captain Marvel. I don't like how she was acted. I think Stormfront was meant for you to hate her. And that actress, give her all of the awards. Oh, if there's an award, I don't care what give her a Grammy. Give her something.
Give her a Tony.
Yeah, because that was great acting. But more towards the end, when you're like, like everything with Billy's wife. Oh, the entire time I was like, I would slap her. Like Serena's just watching it, looking at me, and I'm like cussing the TV out. Like when they're talking about the movies, and Billy's wife was talking to the kids, like, well, maybe we can talk about that when you're older and you can watch Homelander's movies. And Stormfront was looking at her like, no, you can watch them now. I'd have been like,
excuse me?
Excuse me? I will kryptonite up your ass, okay? But, I don't know. I thought I did like the curb stomp smackdown with
I told
Queen Maeve and Starlight and what's the...
Kimiko.
Yeah. I can never remember her name. I keep thinking about Yukio, and then I'm like, never mind, that's Deadpool. But I thought that was awesome. And then
that whole scene was just that last episode.
It was so much. It was good, but it was like, whoa,
I do not know how they were able to fit so much stuff into one episode.
Yeah.
And I still wanted more.
I was hoping you were lying to me about Billy's wife. I was hoping you were like, hey, I'm going to tell him that she dies. She dies, and I'm like, oh my God, and then I have to text you, you fucker, you lied to me. But the second I saw those lasers, I was like, oh, that son of a bitch. He told me the truth. And I was sitting there. I thought Billy was about to beat that boy down.
I mean, you wanted Billy to have an arc, and there's his arc.
Yeah, and I loved it.
Old Daddy Butcher.
But the fact that because Carl Urban is such a great actor. He's amazing. But he's like looking pissed, and he grabs that crowbar, and you're like, Billy, no, put it down, Billy. Billy. And then you see Homelander, and you're like, oh, he's not going to kill this kid. He's not going to kill this kid because what would piss Homelander off more? Killing his son or having his son call you dad? That was big dick energy right there. I still love that. Remember what I told you. Don't be a cunt. He just smiles. It's like, okay, see, that was cool. That second season was so damn good. I have to wait.
I've been waiting. Join the club.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I'm about to watch, though. Carnival Row.
Oh, that's the one that...
the Orlando Bloom Ferry thing. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like since The Boys came out, everyone's like, Carnival what? I think that show's actually going to be pretty good. I think they said they're doing a second season already. Which, if they're doing a second season, the first one's going to be good.
Oh, absolutely.
Which...
I was about to say, they had Mark working on it. It's got to be good.
Exactly. Which, I'm not a huge Orlando Bloom fan. I liked him in Lord of the Rings. He was a pirate.
Ah, yes, but you have heard of him.
Yes. But, I don't know, man. He's been in a couple B movies lately. Like, which sucks because it's Orlando Bloom. He was Legolas.
Yeah.
And now he's kind of... He was in a movie the other day. I was like, I never saw a trailer for this or anything. And I figured out it's direct to video. I'm like, oh no. You sweet angel, you.
Hey, you gotta keep the lights on, man.
Oh yeah. But no, The Boys... Here's the thing about The Boys. The last shot of Homelander... If you would have told me at the beginning of season 1, hey, this is the last thing you're going to see of Homelander in season 2, before I even saw Homelander, I'd been like, no, you're full of it. They're not going to put that in a TV show.
They put that on a TV show.
They put that in a TV show, and it was hilarious. I'm like, what's he... Oh, he told me... Oh, Okay, yeah, that makes sense, actually. That's actually not shocking.
Just like floating above New York City, jerking off.
I mean, hey, we've all wanted to jerk off on New York City. But no, man, I can't wait, man. I want to see how Jensen Ackles is going to do in this show.
Yeah, going back to Stormfront, there was one thing that I saw where she, like, when she died, or like when she was like dying, like the words that she was actually speaking was literal German, and it was like translating to like Nazi stuff.
Which I want to know what she was saying.
Well, the people over at New Rockstars, they actually in there. If you haven't watched their breakdown on the,
I really haven't watched many of their videos lately, and it's not because anything wrong with them. It's mainly, I don't know. I can't tell you. I haven't watched the last 2 episodes of Fat Man. I mean, it's just I haven't really been in the mood to listen to it, you know? Which I'm always in the mood to hear Kevin Smith talk. That dude, he's honest. He really is a smart guy. Like he'll make himself sound dumb. You ever read his book?
No.
Or if you get the audiobook, the dude is actually very intelligent. He knows what he's doing. And Mark is very intelligent. There are some opinions he has that I don't always agree with. But, I mean...
That's why they're opinions.
Yeah. I mean, it's like he had his opinion on Star Wars. Where he said it's only for kids. I don't 100% agree with that. I understand it is marketed more towards kids.
Yeah.
But I also do understand... There are a lot of adult themes in that do kind of get brushed on. Like, the whole prequel trilogy was like trade embargoes and all. I mean, it's
yeah.
It's like, wow, we needed trade embargoes in Star Wars.
It's like so this is what we're what we're doing now. It's like, kids, learn about trade embargoes.
It's kind of like Freddie Prinze Jr. is he's a voice for someone, I think, in Rebels.
Yeah. Oh God, I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
Is it Ezra? No, it's not Ezra.
Speaking of Ezra. Well, we'll get to that in a second. We'll get to that in a second because I have theories. But he was talking about the gray side, which gray side is what Ahsoka is mainly on. That's why her lightsabers are white. And Qui-Gon really tapped into the gray side a lot.
It's more so that the Force is. It's not. It's the view that it's not, light side or dark side, but that you can exist within both and still be good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a whatever happens, happens look at it, which it's smart. I can see why there's not a lot more gray Jedi. And honestly, me and my brother were talking. If Qui-Gon, we love Obi-Wan. Everybody loves Obi-Wan. But if Qui-Gon would have trained Anakin, Darth Vader would never exist.
Well, the reason that Qui-Gon couldn't train Anakin is
because he was dead.
Yeah. Well, not even that, but because they had to connect it to the original movies.
Well, I mean, yeah,
so
no
they
shit.
They couldn't give you this better story.
I mean, yeah, and I know that, but you know me, I like to spit out theories of things that will never happen. And
no, I completely agree, though. That's
because Obi-Wan was a good master, but Obi-Wan was still a Padawan in Phantom Menace.
Mm-hmm. And
he took on Anakin to train while he was a Padawan. He hadn't even taken the trials yet. So you can see where, like, okay, if Qui-Gon would have trained Anakin, none of anything would have happened.
Yeah.
But,
absolutely.
But like you said, obviously they have to tie it into the original trilogy because,
there was one way this was going.
We
all knew where this ship ended.
What is the gumball? We all know where this is going. Let's skip to the end. But I mean, but no, Mandalorian, man. How did you dig that episode? I know how you dug that episode because you texted me about it at like noon. I was like, nah, man, kind of just woke up. Haven't seen it yet.
I was about to say, we always watch it. She's been getting off work at like 11 on Friday, so we always watch it before I have to go to work and everything. And just like she'll get home, we'll make lunch, and then we'll watch the episode, and then it's It was very good.
It was so damn good.
I mean, I've seen a lot of like criticisms of it from people who have like watched Clone Wars and Rebels, but me having not, I just enjoyed the hell out of it.
I can understand people's like critiques on it, but also characters grow, they evolve. You can't sit there and go, why isn't she a kid? It's 50 years later. Of course she's not a kid.
Yeah, like that was one of the things that was one of the big things that I saw was like her, what do they call them, the
like tendrils or whatever.
Yeah, like they're like, well, they grow as she ages, so why aren't they longer? Like, shouldn't they be? I was like, well, she has to move for real this time. It's not CGI.
Yeah, it's like.
So guess what?
Well, my brother said
things are gonna change.
My brother said the same thing. He's like, well, it isn't like the show because the tendrils were longer. I was like, did you see Count Dooku's face in Clone Wars? It was like 8 miles long.
It's like everything can't be exactly like the cartoons.
I mean, really? But I loved Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka.
I thought she did great. I think my favorite part of the entire show was that fight scene at the end, where it was the Kurosawa like samurai style fight scene. Oh my god!
Which I loved, and
it was so good.
I did like the callback to Rebels when she lit her lightsabers by like smacking them together, and it's like, oh okay, I like that. But I didn't think you were going to get Ahsoka just like right off the front. I figured
they said that it was called The Jedi, and they did not fail to deliver on The Jedi.
I figured you were going to have like Mando and Grogu. Screw that, it's Baby Yoda. I figured you're going to have Mando and Baby Yoda flying through, and then you'll see Ahsoka 20 minutes. And I didn't think they were going to like bust right in like, oh, you want Ahsoka? You're getting Ahsoka. It was so good, though. It was so good. And
she was the focal point of the episode.
She was, and I liked what's his name? Was it Kyle Reese in Terminator? Was that his character's name? I can't remember. The dude from Terminator and Aliens, kind of like dropping in. I was like, okay, so you've been in 3 science fiction worlds. You are the king, man, the king. But no, Rosario Dawson is a great actress in anything. I mean, so amazing, and to have her as Ahsoka, it worked.
Oh yeah, she did such an amazing job.
Well, everyone also was getting pissed that it wasn't Ashley Eckstein who voiced Ahsoka, and it's like, what? That's what you're gonna get pissed about? You got a live action Ahsoka Tano, and you're still gonna bitch about it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really? I do kind of feel like we need to pull out a rest in peace, though. David Prowse.
Yeah.
The man in the Darth Vader costume passed away. Unfortunate loss. Honestly, can't remember how old he was. Let me look that up, actually.
It was 80-something, but I was watching The Fat Man the other night, and they said that it was complications due to COVID, which was kind of wild.
It was a little... Yeah, it was... I didn't expect that to happen.
Well, he had Alzheimer's, so he was already...
Yeah, he was 85.
He was already one of those, pre-existing conditions.
Which, it sucks, because a lot of the original cast is slowly dying. I mean, you had, I think Kenny Baker's dead. The dude that was in the R2-D2.
Mm-hmm.
We obviously know that Carrie Fisher's dead.
Yeah.
I think Chewbacca died too. I can't remember who all was dead. Let me see. Peter Mayhew. Yeah, Peter Mayhew died last year. I mean, I think all that's left is James Earl Jones because his ass is immortal. I mean...
That voice is, and forever will be, immortal.
Yes. I mean, Alec Guinness died before anybody else, though. He was the original Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Mm-hmm.
He died. He was older than dirt when it came out. I mean, but slowly losing the original Star Wars cast. I think all that's left is C-3PO and Han and Luke. Honestly, I think everyone else is kind of bit.
Well, I mean, that movie came out, 50 years ago? What do you want?
Well, Empire... I think Empire turned 40 either this year or last year. So, what year did... The first Star Wars came out in 77, so that would make it...
It's 45 almost.
Yeah, it's...
What, 43?
Yeah, 43 at least. I mean, it's old, but those movies still work.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I never... What I didn't like was when they digitally put Anakin's face, like Hayden Christensen's face onto the old Anakin. It's like, okay, I get it, because that's when the Jedi part of Anakin died, but he's in white robes.
The one thing that I always saw about that was that they never told Hayden Christensen what he was doing.
Yeah.
When they filmed that, and so like he's like, and he always says that that's one part that he wishes he could redo, because he's like, it just doesn't make sense to do it, that like to have like the looks and that kind of like the grin that he has on his face. Like, I was like,
I can understand.
They never told him what he was doing it for.
And
so
here's
he would
the
have
thing.
acted it a completely different way.
Here's the thing. I do like George Lucas. The dude, obviously, he had a vision, and it has turned into something huge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I doubt anyone thought in 77 that Star Wars was going to be as big as it is. The dude obviously has a vision, but he really doesn't know how to direct people. Faster and more intense is not how you direct actors.
Oh, no.
And Kathleen Kennedy, she sucks. I'm sorry. If you like Kathleen Kennedy, that's your opinion, but...
Which one was she over?
She's been over pretty much everything here recently. Like, she wants to fire Favreau. I mean...
No, Favreau gets to do whatever Favreau wants.
Yeah, Kathleen Kennedy just kind of fucked the Star Wars universe. She's the president of Lucasfilm. So, and her upcoming movie is Indiana Jones 5.
They've been talking about doing one of those a long
Well, that was
time.
part of Harrison Ford's contract. When he came in for Force Awakens, he wasn't originally going to.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, okay, you want me to come back? I think he wants to do 2 more Indiana Jones. I think he wants to do like a 5 and 6, or it was just a 5, to wrap it up, because Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, it didn't really wrap up that well.
Well, I thought that it wrapped up Harrison Ford.
I don't think it did, because
But
at the end when they had the wedding with him and what's her name? What was her name?
But so like to me it wrapped it up for like a passing of the torch. So like it kind of gave, it was gonna let like Harrison Ford just kind of like be in scenes, but you kind of hand the reins over to Shia LaBeouf, and he kind of takes over the role as his kid.
And I would have liked that if they would have done. It's kind of like there's a part in. You ever see The Judge with Robert Downey Jr.?
No, I know what movie. I didn't actually get a chance.
There's
to
a part
watch
at the end when everything that happens in the movie. He's a defense attorney, and the whole movie is the legacy of his father. How he doesn't want to be his father. All that. It's basically like I don't want to be my dad. All that. Kind of the running thing for drama movies. And he goes into the courthouse where his dad sat as judge, and he spins the chair around, kind of just like fuck around the chair. And when it finishes spinning, it like lands perfectly for like, okay, you're gonna sit in the chair. And then he did like the and that's how it ended. That's kind of what it felt like. I mean,
Yeah, like it left it perfectly for Shia LaBeouf to take over, and then people didn't like the aliens part. I
didn't dig that either. I mean, I get that
they never did it.
I get that, like, the first 3, not even, actually, no, it wasn't even the second. Raiders and
Well, we won't talk about the second movie.
Yeah. Raiders of the Lost Ark and Last Crusade were really a little more historically accurate. If you read history, Hitler was looking at like occult stuff and all that. So it does make sense for the Ark of the Covenant and the Holy Grail.
Mm-hmm.
But the Russians didn't give a shit about the aliens. And you're like, oh, hey, here's some aliens. I didn't dig that at all.
It It's like they were just trying to find something to look for.
Yeah, it felt forced. But, I don't know. I'm still going to watch it. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I still watched it, but it was...
I mean, I'm still going to watch Indiana Jones 5. But Kathleen Kennedy, she kind of really... She's kind of screwing the Star Wars universe. Because, honestly, I think she's part of the reason why Rey was the way she is. With zero, character building.
Well, the problem with that is you had... the plan was to have 3 different directors do 3 different movies, and it's very hard for different directors to come in after someone else and build on their work because they want to make their own thing.
And here's the thing.
So you can't have a trilogy directed by 3 different people because 3 different people are going to look at the same thing and have 3 different ideas.
Yeah, I really want George to get back, and I think he's talking about picking up the reins of Star Wars. I want him to get back because honestly, I've said it 1,000 times. I don't like the sequel trilogy. I mean, they have parts of them that I do think is, okay, that's kind of cool. But it felt rushed. You don't need a new Star Wars movie every year. And that's what we got for a while. It was, you got Rogue One, which Rogue One, I'm not going to bitch about.
Oh,
it was good. And then after that, it was all kind of downhill. I mean, Solo had its parts, but
I thought Solo had the best. If they would have actually made a second one, I would not be.
Yeah.
Because it set up so much with Darth Maul.
And there is a lot of backstory of what was Han Solo doing before he joined the rebellion. And you can easily tell 1,000 stories with that.
And you'll never get me complaining about more Maul.
Never. I will never. You could literally find a reason to bring Darth Maul back and be like, hey, it totally works for me. It could be the dumbest. Be like, okay, you had one of his toenails and he grew out of it. Hey guys, you hear that? That's Star Wars right there. I mean, I didn't like Palpatine coming back. I didn't like the Rey Skywalker bullshit. Honestly, the sequel trilogies are almost a photocopy of the originals. You have Force Awakens, which is pretty much the entire plot of Star Wars. Last Jedi, I mean, Han Solo gets frozen at the end of Empire. Luke dies at the end of Last Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Rise of Skywalker. Vader died at the end because after he redeemed himself. Kylo died at the end because he redeemed himself. The Emperor got killed.
Mm-hmm.
Again.
Yeah.
And the pushing shit through the Force? When was that a thing? I did not like that when, Rey puts the lightsaber behind her back and she comes back and is like, ooh, gotcha. And then,
oh, Magic Force, yes.
Just, what the fuck was that shit? Force healing? Really?
I mean, to be fair, Baby Yoda did it.
Yeah, Baby Yoda did it, but, I mean, honestly...
And technically, if we're talking canonically, Baby Yoda did it first.
Technically. But that's because it was written good, because you had Jon Favreau, who, honestly, he could remake anything, and I would be 100% down with it. He could remake Die Hard, and I'd be like, hey, this is going to be a good movie.
If they wanted to redo the sequels, all you have to do is just, it's not even that, just, remember in episode 7 when she goes to... they're in the little bar or whatever, and she first touches the lightsaber.
Oh, and she has the vision thing? Yeah.
Just say it's one of those. Just pull the Twilight and just just say it's a vision, and then write the actual episode 8 and 9.
Why?
You get to keep the same characters.
Why would you do that to me? Every time we do an episode of this damn show, you do this to me. You did that with the casting for Doctor Doom. I mean, I knew about your Jason Todd theory because you told me that before, but you did that to me then. Oh, I hate you. But no, here's the thing, okay? we kind of got off topic. Well, as we do. I think that Mandalorian just showed us a teaser for a whole different spinoff show of Ahsoka.
Well, yeah. Well, so I think it was more. I don't necessarily know if the Ahsoka was getting the spinoff show, but I saw that there was a thing saying that what was it that because they were gonna have like these other spinoff shows, and that Ahsoka could be the one that's just kind of like bouncing in between to kind of connect them all.
I mean, okay, do it. I'll watch. I will watch as many seasons of Ahsoka Tano as you give me. But, like, she mentioned fucking Thrawn, dude. Which is a name I never thought I'd hear again. And it kind of set up the whole plot for her show. I mean, and even if it's not her own show, it might be, you know, Mando and her, like the Mando and Ahsoka Power Hour.
I wouldn't complain.
But I mean, she's looking for Thrawn. I have my theory on why she's looking for Thrawn. She's looking for Thrawn because of Ezra.
Yeah, that's what I've seen a lot of that's saying that she was looking for Ezra.
Well, the last person that Ezra was ever seen with was Thrawn, because to save the crew of, I think it was the Ghost.
Yeah.
He kind of threw Thrawn and himself into a different part of the galaxy, and now
Ahsoka, what was it, the space whales or whatever? Yeah,
and now Ahsoka's looking for him. I think he's going to be the one that reaches out to Baby Yoda in this week's episode.
That I have definitely seen that. I've also seen, who else have I seen that? I saw something where it was Mark Hamill as young Luke Skywalker.
Fuck Mark Hamill as young Luke Skywalker. Put Sebastian Stan. I sent you that picture and it looks good, and don't even act like it doesn't.
I've also seen, what was it? I saw Samuel L. Jackson as Mace Windu.
Now, you see, that would be funny. Yoda's looking out, you hear, Yoda, motherfucker. I would give my place of living just to see that. I would give Disney this property. And it's not even mine to give. I would just be like, look, you guys got to understand this. If you get to hear Samuel L. Jackson go, Yoda, motherfucker. I mean, but they did say he was trained by a bunch of different masters before the fall of the Jedi Temple. Mace Windu is 9 times out of 10 one of those masters. I mean, just like Kit Fisto probably could have. I mean, you have a lot of characters you can play with.
I was about to say, the fact that he survives Anakin. Like, they wrote that into the backstory that he
survived Anakin's wrath.
He was not one of the younglings. Which
makes you... Yeah. Did I send you that picture of when Anakin wakes up in Revenge of the Sith? He's like, shit, did I miss one? That would... I would like it if it were Luke, but, I mean... I can also see why they wouldn't do that, because...
Let's move on from...
You kind of had a lot... You've had a lot of Luke.
Let's move on from some Skywalkers. Let's get somebody new.
The Skywalkers, I think it was a picture of R2-D2. It said, when you've single-handedly watched 3 generations of Skywalker fuck up the galaxy. That is hilarious. But I mean, I don't want any more Luke Skywalker. Well, okay, that's a lie. If you give me Luke Skywalker, I'll watch it. But I don't see why we need more Luke Skywalker. Make it Ezra. You know, make it, even if it's the spirit of, if it was the spirit of Obi-Wan or Qui-Gon Jinn, which I know that won't happen, but I'm experimenting here, okay?
I was about to say, if you could, that was another thing that I saw was that to have like the spirit of Qui-Gon Jinn, like when they take him to the temple, to have him like hear the spirit of Qui-Gon Jinn.
Well, I did hear someone had the idea of, in the Obi-Wan show, to have Liam Neeson come back as Qui-Gon, which it makes sense because during the time of his exile, of his like self-exile onto Tatooine, in the books, he did spend a lot of time with the spirit of Qui-Gon, learning how to tap into. That's how he became a Force spirit. So I want to see that. I really would like to see that. If they can get Liam Neeson in there, that'd be great because
absolutely.
He hasn't really been in much lately. Even though, let's be honest, he was Qui-Gon Jinn. He trained Batman. He was Aslan from Narnia. I mean, dude's kind of...
He was the guy from Taken.
Yeah, he was the guy from Taken. He was Zeus twice.
He's a man with a particular set of skills.
He's an actor in Hollywood. And he can portray him however he wants to. But now, who do you want them to cast as Thrawn? I have an idea.
Well, I told you one.
Which, yes.
James Woods of... he was Hades in the Hercules animated movies. More often now, people are going to recognize him from his Family Guy exploits. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
Yeah. That's so funny as hell.
But if you just put the characters like side by side, like James Woods looks a lot alike.
He really does.
Thrawn.
And I think he would do good. But you told me there was a second one that was going to blow my mind. And as of right now, look, you've already blown my mind with like 3 things in this one. So go ahead. What is your third?
My second for
Your
Thrawn,
second, sorry.
Jason Isaacs.
God damn it, he was mine. He was mine.
I must say, Lucius Malfoy would definitely...
Admiral Zhao from Avatar, yes.
Like, he has that kind of cadence, the weirdly, like, British-sounding voice.
He was in The Patriot with Mel Gibson. You ever see that movie?
It's been a long time.
He was the main dude, the one that killed all of his sons. He was like honestly, I mean, yeah, I get it. Revolutionary War. He was the main baddie in that movie. Every time you see him, you're like, oh, fuck you. I mean, Jason Isaacs is a damn good actor. I loved him as Lucius Malfoy.
I saw a lot of people say. I've seen a lot of Cumberbatch.
I saw some Cumberbatch.
I saw a lot of Hiddleston.
Which, I think the only reason why they say Tom Hiddleston was because of Thor, when you saw him as the ice giant, or the frost giant, and he was blue, and it's like, okay, that's pretty much the only reason, though.
Who else did I see? I saw David Tennant. I saw that one. That one wouldn't have been bad.
I did see, I saw Fassbender.
Yeah, I saw Fassbender too. Who else did I see that was God, who was... There's somebody older that I saw that I was like, maybe if this was like 20 years ago.
I mean, I don't know. Jason Isaacs, I think, would be a phenomenal casting. Because, I mean, he can just play bad. And he does it very well.
I was going to say, he's already proved it in a big franchise.
I mean, and you didn't even see Lucius Malfoy that much in the Harry Potter movies. And every time you saw him, you're like, oh, he gave you the feeling of bad. And then you had him in Deathly Hallows, where it was after Azkaban, after the events of Order of the Phoenix, obviously. Mm-hmm. And he's been in Azkaban for like, I think a year or something like that. And he's like, like shaky and like obviously PTSD. Oh. He can play anything. The dude is he's a great voice actor. I mean, Admiral Zhao in Avatar was, in a sense, Thrawn. So I can see it. I mean, the dude's great.
I was going to say, that would be, those are my two. I mean, and again, like, James was just, like, he's got the ability to sound sinister.
Yes.
And he's already been a man in blue before. While it wasn't live action, like, he has been a blue man before.
Yes.
He is part of the Blue Man Group.
Yes. I hate you. That was funny. But no, I mean, I don't know. The only person I could think of was Jason Isaacs. I mean, he would be great. I can't wait to see who they cast him as because, look, they've already mentioned him. They've opened up that wormhole. He's going to be in there. And Favs, if he's doing it, which obviously is going to be good. I mean,
yeah, I've seen they were talking about what was it? Like what his like possible plan could be, and I've seen like different theories on if he's like working for the
Moff Gideon.
for Moff Gideon, but the one that I personally enjoyed was the fact that he wasn't going to be either, and he was going to be like working to set up his own empire.
Which it wouldn't shock me with Thrawn. I mean, he's just one of those baddies where it's like, honestly, it's kind of like if they mention like Dooku or Grievous. It's like, oh, that's gonna be good. They're doing something. They're cooking something. They're cooking something over there at in Disney Plus, and it's gonna be good.
Oh, absolutely. I'm all here for it because it's just one of those things that it gives you. Whereas like going into this season, you had no idea. It's like, okay, we got a whole season. Like he's got a quest to find a Jedi. Okay, whatever. Like, fair enough. But now, like you have some real, like world building,
Yes.
and you have some overarching villains that aren't gonna be just like one season baddies.
Yeah, no,
Like,
they're not going
you
to waste Thrawn on one season, just like they didn't waste Gideon on one season.
Yeah, so it's like you can see like a big future where this is going to be a show that's going to go on 4, 5, 6, 7 seasons long.
And I can't wait to see it, man. I cannot wait to see it because I love Star Wars. This is something new. I mean, there's really never really been. I mean, Clone Wars and Rebels, yeah. There's never been a live-action series for Star Wars like this. And I can't wait. It's going to be great. I mean, it already is. I read something where everyone was talking about the second they cancel Mandalorian, they're canceling their Disney Plus subscription. I mean, or the second they end it, because they're not canceling that show. It's their number one show.
I was going to say, as of right now, it's really the only reason to have Disney Plus.
I mean, it's kind of like Walking Dead was AMC's number one show for a long time. I mean, but no, man, I'm looking forward to it.
Because they're not going to have another big show until what, WandaVision comes out?
Yeah, which
I
really
January?
Yes. I really wonder how many seasons of WandaVision they're really going to have. Because
I mean, it might just be like a one-off season.
That's what I'm thinking, too, it might just be...
And you know what? I wouldn't even care.
I really wouldn't... Yeah, it's supposed to come out January 15th, 5 days before my birthday, so... But, and I think it's just going to be like a one-off, which I don't mind that. Because they're going to set up...
Yeah, that
her
movie's
being
going to set up Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Multiverse of Madness. I mean, which she's already been... I think she's confirmed as the villain, I think.
Yeah.
Which...
I was about to say that
we're getting House of M. Well, House of W, whichever people decide to call it. We're getting mutants, okay?
Yeah.
Just like, I mean, I think they're already casting X-Men. Because I think they said Shia LaBeouf is going to be Iceman, which I mentioned it to you. I still think it's cool that Lamplighter, the fire superhero, was Iceman from X-Men. You know, polar. I thought that was very, very intelligent casting.
Yeah, it definitely had like a nice little like play on his powers where
it's like
before he was ice,
now
now he's fire.
Like, okay, I see what you did there. It's like, and especially like X-Men fans who watch the movies are like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, it's just like, I still think that, you know, the dude that plays, I can never remember his name. The dude who plays Moff Gideon. What's his name? Giancarlo
Esposito.
He's in everything now.
Because he's also in The Boys, too.
He was in The Boys. He was in, he was Moff Gideon. He was in Breaking Bad. He's in Harley Quinn. He's Lex Luthor.
Ooh, okay.
Which, yes. The dude's a great actor. I mean, he was in there was a show. I can't remember what year it came out. It's called Revolution. And it had it's a Fox show, so really they have the same actors playing and everything. Mm-hmm. And it was about the government made an EMP to like test against like for war and all that, and they accidentally let it off and shut the power off for the entire planet.
Oh yeah, my dad watched that show.
It was a good show. First season was good. Second season got kind of dumb, but he was in there. He was great in that too. He was ruthless. I mean, dude just carried a Desert Eagle just chilling.
I was about to say I'm curious to see like how many more now that we have Ahsoka with her lightsabers. Now we have Moff Gideon with the Darksaber. We're most likely getting another Jedi coming in to train Baby Yoda, aka Grogu.
I hate that name. I did see his kind of.
The only thing that I didn't like is the fact that it didn't start with a Y.
Because I mean, Yaddle.
You have Yaddle, you have Yoda.
Which did you ever hear about what happened to Yaddle? Yaddle died between Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, sacrificing her. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, herself. Like absorbed a bomb. I told it to my brother, and he was like, "I didn't want to know that." But like, you got a lot of good characters coming. I doubt they're gonna waste. I doubt they're gonna put Luke back in it because
they also. So they mentioned Yaddle in the the newest game.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of people thinking that is it Fallen Order? Is that the new one?
I think that's what it is.
There's a lot of people saying that maybe the dude that the main character of like Fallen Order shows up, and it ties.
Someone said that,
and it ties in the actual video game franchise as well as canon.
Which I wouldn't mind. I'm not a big fan of that actor. What's his name? He was Joker in Gotham. What's his name? Let me see. Cameron Monaghan. However the hell you say his last name. He's a good actor. I'm not his biggest fan, though. Because his Joker wasn't that great. I didn't really play Jedi Fallen Order, but I don't think it was, I'm not sure how good it was. And I could really give a shit less about Shameless. I really could. That show does not interest me at all.
I will say it would be nice to see if they could like tie in the.
Oh yeah, it would be really cool.
Yeah, it gives like a whole nother medium of things that you could do. Because like I'd love to get, if we're making like shows or like movies going forward, like I'd love to get one. I know one that my friend who's like the biggest Star Wars nerd that I know.
Yeah.
He said that the one that he wants is Revan.
Oh, I would like that, and apparently they're doing that because apparently they're going to do like a Knights of the Old Republic or an Old Republic.
Because that's what he said was like it was part of like the Knights of the Old Republic, and I think there was some of the books that aren't specifically canon.
I mean, heck, someone said that they think Kylo Ren's mask was inspired by Revan's, because Revan, if you look at the mask, they kind of have the same look of like there's really no features. It's just like, here, let me pull it up real quick. Like it, you can see where they kind of resemble.
Oh yeah, that does look a lot like Kylo Ren.
Yeah, so it's like
a lot like Kylo Ren.
They look surprisingly similar. So someone thinks that the Knights of Ren, like Kylo's mask, was heavily inspired by Revan, which, man, I would love to watch that. If they do Revan, it's like I said with the lightsaber about geek all over the place, cleaning crew, get it done.
Oh, that's what I was going to talk about earlier. I was like, do you think we get more lightsaber fights?
Yes, they're not going to waste it. Look, Bo-Katan, I can see them putting her in one episode. I liked her character, but I can also see where she gets one, maybe 2 episodes, which it would do that character injustice, but I can see where they do that. You are not going to have one episode of Ahsoka and then go, okay, forget Ahsoka happened. No, fuck you. She's gonna be in. She's gonna come in for the latter half of the season. If she's,
we're already in the latter half of the season.
What episode are we on now? 6.
That was episode 5.
So Fridays would be 6.
Yeah, so we got 3 episodes left.
I think she might be in 7 or 8 or just 8. She's gonna come back in this season. And if she doesn't come back in this season, she's going to be right in the top half of next season. Like, she's not going anywhere. But you want to talk about something that I don't like recasting in certain things. Because there's a lot of things that when you recast, you lose a lot of the audience. Like, I get with Harry Potter, they had 2 Dumbledores. Right?
Well, one died.
Yeah, you had Richard. What was his name? I can't remember what his name was.
I just always remember him as the old dude from The Count of Monte Cristo.
Yeah. He died. Obviously, you had to recast. That's totally fine. I 100% understand. Casting Mads Mikkelsen as Grindelwald is retarded. And I get a lot of people don't like people saying retarded. Sorry. That is not a good cast. I love Matt. He was good as Caecilius. Did you ever see the Hannibal Lecter TV show?
I did not.
Oh, so good. He was a great Hannibal Lecter.
So one thing that Kev was talking about on this last episode of Fat Man, that was now that Rosario Dawson is Ahsoka, he now has what he called his kids, just people that he's has acting for him. He now has somebody in Star Wars. He's got Batman.
Who was it in Star Wars?
Ahsoka.
Oh, duh.
Literally
I was just thinking about that. Yeah, Ahsoka, his kid is the Batman.
He's got Batman with Ben Affleck. Who... I feel like there was somebody... I feel like he had somebody that was in Star Trek, I think, but I'm not sure. Maybe he's saying he wanted somebody in Star Trek.
Maybe.
But he was saying that now all he's got left to do is he's got to get somebody in Harry Potter. And somebody in the chat was spamming Jason Mewes for Grindelwald.
Hey Grindelwald, will you give me the other one? $15, little man. Oh my! You have no idea how pissed off I would be, but how many times I would go and see that movie, just so I could sit there and go, "Hey, it's coming up! It's coming up!" Boom, Jay. But I mean,
I thought that was so funny.
But
this one is Jason Mewes for Grindelwald.
Well, it's kind of like I rewatched Crimes of Grindelwald. I can see why they chose Mads Mikkelsen though, because Grindelwald has a certain... I mean, obviously it's Johnny Depp. If you look at that and go, who is that? Leave my site because you're a dumbass. But Mads Mikkelsen, if they do it right, can very much resemble Johnny Depp's Grindelwald.
Well, so here's the thing, is that Grindelwald, you got it in the first one, it was Colin Farrell the whole time?
Yeah, and it was which I can get that. But the way they left Crimes of Grindelwald, if they have him going under disguise the whole movie, it wouldn't make any sense. Because that's kind of like Voldemort going under disguise. He's here. Everyone knows he's here. I mean, the dude's putting flags on buildings with his mark. It's kind of like, honestly...
Well, so that's the thing is, you could easily write it to the point where you could say that Johnny Depp was another disguise.
Which...
Because, I know that they did that with, what was it, that last thing that, Heath Ledger was filming before he died, the something Emporium.
Oh, yeah, the,
Mr. McGore, Mr. something.
Wonder Emporium?
Yeah, that movie, it literally had 7 different actors play the same dude. Because
it was.
They had so little with Heath Ledger that they basically just wrote it as that's just this dude.
Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium.
He changes shape and who he. I mean, it's the same with the Doctor and Doctor Who.
Which I see. I see what you're saying, and when they write it, I'm sure they're gonna find a way to write it where you're okay, whatever. And I'm still gonna watch it because I fuck with that universe. I love I've read the Harry Potter books 3 times. I've watched the movies. God. I mean, it's kind of like I do enjoy it. Now, if my sister were here, she'd hit you with some knowledge no one knew. She's sitting there, oh, you like this? Boom, and you're like 20 minutes of like, what the fuck? Like, they're gonna write it in a way where, you know, Mads Mikkelsen as Grindelwald isn't gonna be surprising. It's gonna be okay. You wrote it good enough to where I'm not pissed off, but you're still pissed off because Johnny Depp did nothing wrong. I'm sorry. If you side with Amber Heard and you actually think that Johnny Depp did so much wrong, sorry, you're kind of a dumb bitch. I mean, like I don't see how you can do that. It's kind of like I like the picture. I don't know if I sent it to you. I know I sent it to Jay, and it had from Aquaman where Black Manta stabs him, and he's like, you know, in Aquaman you see. You know, you show Black Manta beating Aquaman up and, you know, he gets stabbed with various objects. This is an obvious reference to the fact that he's in a relationship with Amber Heard.
He did send that to me.
Well, it's kind of, have you seen the pictures of all of Amber Heard's, like, ex-spouses?
Mm-mm.
Or, like, ex-relationships? They are, all, like, when she was dating Elon Musk, dude always had black eyes. I mean, he was always, you know, just torn to hell. I mean, she's a horrible, horrible person. And everyone's like, well, we're gonna, I think, like my brother's telling me, we're gonna boycott Aquaman 2. What the fuck are you gonna boycott Aquaman 2? So we can never get another Aquaman movie?
No, you go see it.
You pretend.
You have to shame them into changing it just like we did with Sonic.
Which, here's my theory on Sonic. I don't think that was ever what actually happened. I think they put out that crappy looking Sonic for views. So you have a lot of people talking about the movie. It's good marketing. And then they're like, boom. Oh, you thought that was real? We're fucking with you. This is the real Sonic.
Look, if that was the case, it wouldn't have been delayed that much.
That is true, and I don't know. It's kind of like
it's a good theory after the fact. Like, oh yeah, that's exactly what we were doing.
I know, which I'm trying to hold out hope. But I do think
the internet bullied them into changing.
I do think that is the case with Spider-Man, though. Of the whole thing was a hoax, because you remember, I think it was before Far From Home came out. There was that, you know, oh my God, Marvel won't get Spider-Man anymore. Sony's taking it exclusively. Remember that?
The thing with that was they were always trying to get the deal done.
Oh, they were always. I think that it was
because both of them had leverage that the other couldn't compete with, which is the fact that Sony owned the rights, but everything that Sony wanted to do with the character,
Marvel said no, because Marvel
it
owns.
had to involve the MCU and those characters, and Sony couldn't use the characters that they wanted to put him with without their permission.
My theory on that is, I think that I do believe Marvel and Sony have had words with each other, but I think that whole, like, Marvel not getting it, I think that was another sale. And hear me out, okay? You're Sony, okay?
Okay.
All right. Here's my idea, okay? You want more money, correct?
Yeah.
I want money.
Yeah.
We're going to tell people that there will not be another Spider-Man movie, and we're having an argument. When we come to terms, that Spider-Man movie, everyone's going to think it's the last one. It's going to make billions of dollars. Tell me that's not a good theory. Tell me it's not a good theory. I'll call you a liar. I seriously think it was Marvel and Sony sat down and was like, look, I have a marketing idea. They talked to them. They're like, okay, that's actually a pretty good idea. And
I mean, it did happen really quickly from the time
it happened.
Like, all right, no more talks. All right, it's done.
I think it was.
We've worked out a deal.
The second that they saw how much, because I think Spider-Man was #1 in searches and all that for like a month. I mean, it was big. I think that's what it was. They know.
Kevin
they
Feige just walked up and said, "Sony, I've come to bargain."
Yeah.
Sony, I've come to bargain.
Yeah.
Sony, I've come to bargain.
has to.
You just show up every day until they finally like, all right, fine.
See, Marvel's like, or Feige's like, I've come to bargain. So he's like, have fun storming the castle. Bye bye. Did you hear that they're talking about doing a Princess Bride remake?
Oh God!
Don't
ever
that.
Leave that movie alone.
That movie is perfect.
Just leave it alone.
I love every second of that movie. Well, it's just, I mean, you want to talk about, they're talking about making so many movies. They have Bad Boys 4, 5, and 6 already signed for.
Well, yeah, they, if you watch the third one, they set up if you watch the third one, they set up an ending that allowed it to go forward where you didn't even need, Martin Lawrence and Will Smith.
Here's the thing. They're not doing that.
No.
And you want to know how I know that? Because it's Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. You can have the worst movie in the world. If Will Smith is in it, it's going to make over $30 million.
I mean, to be fair, it's not like they're doing anything else right now.
They really aren't. I mean, well, but I did hear that Will Smith is coming back as Deadshot. Which, yeah, I mean, I liked him as Deadshot. I thought he was funny, but I also, you could have left him. I didn't need him. I'm not a huge Deadshot guy. I mean, I do like his characters. I liked him in Arrow.
I would say I like the guy that played him in Arrow.
I liked him in Arrow. I mean, he's a decent character, but everyone seems to forget he wasn't written as a Suicide Squad member. He was written as trying to be Batman. When Deadshot first came out, he was just like Bruce Wayne. He was a millionaire. You know, he wanted to be like Batman. The original books, he tried to team up with Batman. And now everyone seems to forget that. I mean, I don't know. I hate rewriting. I really do. But I did hear, though, that we're getting a good Joker for Snyderverse. No grill, no tattoos. Just Leto, makeup, lipstick. Man, I mean, obvious Joker outfit, but I mean...
He got some new and improved Joker products.
But I don't know, I mean...
I'm here for it. And again, like, if you'd have just said Jason Todd, like, I would have been like, all right, I'm here for even that version.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, the Leto version would have been fine as long as you just said the words, Jason Todd.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it would have fixed all the problems.
It would have, and... I don't know, I am glad that Snyder's getting his version. I just really hope he's not trying to jam-pack everything into one thing.
Yeah.
Because if he jam-packs everything into one thing, we're not getting any more Snyder products. I'm sure he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, because they said it was going to be, what, like a four-part?
Yeah, it's going to be a 4-part miniseries. I think each episode is going to be like an hour long.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at like a 4-hour...
Which...
Essentially, you're looking at Gone with the Wind.
Yeah. You're looking... Or, like, Godfather. Well, I actually think Godfather is 6 hours. But, I mean... I don't know. I mean, they announced Joker's coming back. Deathstroke's in it. Who else? What other villain? I mean, I know...
Oh, Joe Manganiello.
Darkseid, Steppenwolf, and one other. I can't remember, but... I don't know. I just
are they having what's his name be Lex Luthor again?
I haven't heard anything about Jesse Eisenberg. It wouldn't shock me. I think they think he's gonna be the one who like sneaks in. No. If they wanted someone to sneak in, they should not have shown Darkseid. Don't mention Darkseid.
Well, here's the thing. We all knew we were getting Darkseid as soon as they said Zack Snyder.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
So why not show it and advertise it? Just be like, hey, you want some more of this? Hey,
you want
some more of that?
You see this? You see this guy? You want him? Oh, I know you want him. And all the Justice League fans are like, yes, we do want him. Give me Darkseid. I mean, they said 4 Darks.
Can I have some more?
Yeah. But I don't know, man. I mean...
say, before we go, you brought up The Princess Bride. What's your favorite scene in The Princess Bride?
Oh, God. Favorite scene in that movie? I have a couple. I liked Billy Crystal. I'm not a witch, I'm your wife. That is fucking hilarious. I did like the, you're in the pit. you're in the pit of despair. It's like, okay, that is some Mel Brooks level writing right there, and that's amazing. But I think the number one is, I know it's kind of cheesy, but I still, my name is Inigo Montoya.
You killed
My father. Prepare to die. That is with, offer me money. Offer me anything I want in the world. I want my father back, you son of a bitch. I love that. That is fucking, that's a great movie.
Yeah, mine is still the what is it, the poison scene.
The poisons. Oh yeah.
It's like, but you must know that so I cannot use the cup in front of you.
You're stalling. You only think I'm stalling. That is, I love that.
But the best part of it was like when he drinks it and then he dies. He's like, it's like, well, how did you know? He's like, I've spent years building up an immunity to this poison. It's like, you
fucking
went through
really?
all of this. And
You
like,
did all of this
stuff.
just to go. Oh, by the way,
I'm
can't kill
immune.
me.
Yeah, you can't kill me with it.
Deuces. I mean, I still think that
It was just such a level of like they're going deep and deep and deep and deep into the thought, and then it's like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm immune to it.
I still like the that or the what's that over there? It's like, really, you're gonna pull that? What's that over your shoulder? Never mess with a Sicilian when death is on the line. Really? Anything else you want to add before we?
And I do love the sword fight scene between Inigo and Wesley.
When it's more of
He's
a
like,
training thing.
Well, it's not even that. It's just like they're fighting. He's like, but there's one thing I want you to know. I'm not left-handed.
Oh, neither am I.
Neither am I. Ha ha! I was like, what?
Just like, haha, you've been bamboozled.
It was extra for no reason other than the fact that I loved it.
It reminds me of there was a commercial. I can't remember what it was for, an insurance company. It's got the dad. There's the wedding, and the dad's like looking at the groom's like, "I'm watching you." Baby's like, "Yeah, well, I'm watching you, watching him." Oh man. But no, we got Friday is the next episode of Mando, so next week is going to be an exciting episode.
Yeah, we'll be sure to talk about that some more.
Anything else you want to add?
No, I think we really covered. There wasn't a lot of stuff to. We
Not
just
this
caught up
week.
on. Yeah, we just caught up on the things that we had to catch up from last week, and we talked about the one real big thing that happened, which was Mandalorian, and like all of the oh my god, that means this, that means this.
Yeah, which there's a lot of unpacking.
And I'm sure we're gonna have more of those next week after
without
the way
a doubt.
that they set up taking Grogu to Tython.
That I'm gonna text you on Friday. We're gonna talk about this, right? Yes, we're gonna talk about it. Okay, good. But I mean, I can't really think. I don't think I have anything else I need to add either. I mean, I know it's as I know we need to definitely for when we have I think the week of Christmas. What day does Christmas fall on? Is it?
It's I believe Christmas Day is on a Friday.
On a Friday.
Yeah.
Which means we're gonna have to do it the next that following week. So we're definitely gonna have to watch Wonder Woman. We'll definitely discuss that.
Yeah, we'll have a whole episode on that for sure.
But if you don't have anything else to add, then make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share.
Go follow the socials. Interact with us.
Share it all out. Have questions so we can start having Q&A and.
Yeah, I was say we're more than happy to interact with y'all. We just gotta get some interaction. I mean, it's just one of those things that like don't be scared to message us anything. Like we'll be happy to.
Oh yeah,
to,
well,
like, answer whatever.
It's gonna take a little bit. I mean, we're only on episode 4, so. But until next week, I'm Josh.
I'm Jeff.
And this was The Nerd is the Word. Thank you for listening, and may the Force be with you.
And this is the way.